Have you ever wondered why there seems to be a coup d'etat every other month in Francophone Africa? It may seem like a far-fetched scenario, but the reality is that it's happening more frequently than you might imagine. Over the span of just 3 years, 7 countries in this region have experienced successful coups, each with its unique story, its unique set of circumstances. From the dusty streets of Mali, where colonels ousted President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta, to the political upheaval in Niger that saw President Mohamed Bazoum overthrown. From the military takeover in Burkina Faso, to the ousting of President Alpha Condé in Guinea. From the battlefield of Chad, where President Idriss Déby met his untimely end, to the military takeover in Sudan, and lastly, the annulment of election results in Gabon. So many questions arise. Are these coups random occurrences, or are they part of a coordinated effort? Join us as we take a closer look at these 7 coups and the possible reasons behind them. In August 2020, Mali experienced a significant shift in power. A group of Malian colonels, disenchanted with the current state of affairs, ousted President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta. Their grievances? Escalating security issues, contested legislative elections, and rampant allegations of corruption. But the drama didn't end there. 9 months later, a counter-coup unfurled. Assimi Goïta, initially appointed as the vice president following the first coup, led the charge. This second coup catapulted him into the role of the head of state. It was a turbulent time for Mali, a nation caught in a whirlwind of power struggles and political upheaval. But as we'll soon discover, this was not an isolated incident. The Mali coup were just the beginning of a series of power shifts in Francophone Africa. Moving to Niger, another coup took place in July 2023. The military announced they had overthrown President Mohamed Bazoum, with General Abdourahmane Tiani becoming the new strongman of the country. The Economic Community of West African States, or ECOWAS, expressed its intention to deploy a regional force to restore constitutional order while still favoring the diplomatic route. The military proposed a maximum of 3 years transition period before returning power to civilians. Yet, the unrest didn't stop there. In January 2022, Burkina Faso's army removed President Roch Kabore, citing his failure to contain violence by Islamist militants. Not even a year had passed when a second coup unfolded in September. This time, Army Captain Ibrahim Traoré forcibly deposed Paul-Henri Damiba. As we can see, the frequency of coups in these countries is alarming. Guinea and Chad also experienced similar power shifts. In the month of September 2021, Guinea's political landscape was dramatically altered. Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya, a special forces commander, seized power from President Alpha Condé. This coup was sparked by Condé's controversial decision to alter the constitution a year prior, in an attempt to bypass term limits and secure a third term, inciting widespread civil unrest. Meanwhile, in the heart of Africa, Chad underwent its own upheaval in April of the same year. The army seized control following the demise of President Idriss Déby, who tragically lost his life on the battlefield. He was visiting troops at the time who were engaged in conflict with rebels in the country's northern region. These drastic power shifts in Guinea and Chad further contribute to the mounting tally of coups in Francophone Africa. The coups in Guinea and Chad add to the growing list of power shifts in Francophone Africa. Sudan and Gabon were not left out of this wave of coups. In Sudan, October 2021 was a month that would go down in history. General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan led a military takeover in the capital, Khartoum. The ruling council, a shared power entity between the army and civilians, was dissolved, throwing the country's democratic transition into a state of turmoil. The coup marked a significant setback for Sudan's journey towards democracy. Meanwhile, Gabon also had its share of political upheaval. A group of Gabonese military officers made an audacious move, announcing a takeover of power and the annulment of the results of an election they claimed lacked credibility. This announcement came hot on the heels of the state election body declaring President Ali Bongo Ondimba winner of a third term in office in disputed elections. The political landscapes of Sudan and Gabon were shaken by these events. These coups demonstrate the political instability in these regions. But what could be the reason behind these frequent power shifts, one might ask? Well, the reasons are manifold and complex. The colonial past of these countries, all former French colonies, is a significant factor. France, after granting them independence, imposed a heavy tax system on these nations that has become quite oppressive over time. This tax, seen by many as a continuation of colonial exploitation, has led to widespread discontent and economic hardship. Coupled with allegations of corruption, contested elections, and deteriorating security, it's not hard to see why some groups might resort to drastic measures. Additionally, the persistent violence by Islamist militants and rebel groups in some countries has often been blamed on ineffective governance, further fueling dissatisfaction with the status quo. In other cases, the coups have been reactions to attempts by leaders to extend their rule through constitutional changes, as seen in Guinea. While the reasons may vary, the impact of these coups on the people and the countries is significant. In just 3 years, 7 successful coups have occurred in Francophone Africa, from Mali's double coup and Niger's military takeover to Burkina Faso's back-to-back political upheavals. We've seen the military seize power in Guinea, Chad's army take control following the battlefield death of its president, and a power grab by military officers in Gabon. Sudan's democratic transition was thrown into turmoil with a military takeover led by General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan. These events, all taking place within such a short span of time, are a stark reminder of the political volatility that can exist in nations grappling with security issues, allegations of corruption, and the enduring effects of colonial legacies. The question that remains is whether these coups are simply random occurrences or are they coordinated? Are they a result of internal struggles or influenced by external forces? We leave you to ponder on that. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe and like our videos.